Alright, so this is my October video, and whew, has it been a busy month for me. A couple of things that I just wanted to update y'all on is we completed the Southern Nutrition Training, and I don't know, it seems like it was a huge success. Everybody had a really good time. There were a lot of really great questions. We made a lot of really great food. The the women seemed to really enjoy the training. A lot of the volunteers really seemed to enjoy the training, and so it was just great. I posted some pictures, so hopefully everybody was able to get a look at those. And you know, pictures speak 1,000 words. So I think that's just a lot better than what I can do. But I'm really happy with how it went. Everybody seemed to really enjoy it, and I think that we were able to get a lot of information across. And the pre and post assessment that we did using pictures seemed to go really well. The women seemed to really like it. We got a lot of positive feedback about how it was a great way to actually work with individuals that didn't have reading or writing skills. So I'm really glad that boded so well. In November, we've got the Northern one coming up, which is just always more involved, just because the women that we're working with, they're just from a lot more challenging situations. So I'm really stoked about that. I'm really jazzed. The volunteers that I'm working with to help put on these trainings, they've just been rock stars, really stepping up, really doing all that they can as well to make sure that the trainings go smoothly as possible. And they just came through on the clutch several times at the Southern IST, and I'm just so thrilled and so honored to be able to work with those individuals. So I'm really excited to see how things go for the Northern one. So you're going to get more Northern updates come November, and I don't know, just wish us luck on that. Aside from that, things have been really busy with Ring this past month. I've been going around with some of our more rural communities to work on our Poultry project, which is helping women generate income from egg sale and also improving household nutrition by introducing protein into daily diets of children. Poultry rearing is a bit of a challenge here in Ghana because the heat is so intense that a lot of birds won't lay eggs properly. Also, confinement of animals is a huge challenge, so we're really working on helping these women confine their animals. Also, working with them on establishing the proper feed for the poultry so that they are actually able to lay the amount of eggs that we need the poultry to lay, so the women can not only sell it but also feed the eggs to their children. So I had to go out and look at two of our projects that we have for poultry. One of them, the birds are getting to the point where they're decreasing in the amount of eggs that they're laying, so we had to make some recommendations on things to help improve the amount that the birds are laying, and also set up a process for us to actually start selling out the birds themselves so we can introduce new birds. Because for those of you that don't know, layers, or birds that lay eggs for consumption, their lifespan for ultimate production only ranges from about 65 to 70 weeks, and we're coming up onto that point. So now we got to come up with a plan on how to actually sell those birds so they can make some type of monetary benefit from having those birds and generate enough income so they can purchase new birds to start the laying process all over again. So we went out there and investigated that, and I also had to check out another project that we are starting with the poultry in another community as well, and the birds there look great because they're just growing really well, which is a huge success. Their mortality rate is really low, so a lot of positive things are happening in that direction, and I'm excited to see how the women are actually able to continue on with this project. One of the things that I want to say is, working in this position, I've been working very closely with a lot of government officials. And It's been interesting because part of Ring's job is to work with sensitization. So really working with government officials and also men within communities to help empower women. And this is something that I've also experienced working in my community, is that a lot of work has to be done to also train men on how to better support women. And so it has been both a learning opportunity and also an eye-opening experience in terms of really understanding how men view women, and also working with those men to teach them, or not teach, but work with them on ways to empower women so that they too can also support the women. This is extremely important because here in Ghana, women are not allowed to own property. So women cannot own land to farm, women cannot own animals to rear. And because of this, it's very challenging to work on these projects that gift animals to women. And because we rely on the men in the women's lives to also support the women on ways to properly care for animals that they're technically not allowed to own. And what we've also noticed is that since women are not allowed to own animals, it makes it very challenging for us to do follow-up visits and ask questions about how animals are doing or how crops are doing, because a lot of the times the women just lie about the fate of the animals or how the crops are doing because of the fear that the land, the crops, the animals are just going to be taken away from them because they're technically not allowed to own them. So it's been interesting. I'll probably have more thoughts about that next month after I've been able to process a little bit more, but it's a sticky situation to be in. It's a little tight sometimes because it's a lot of us trying to work with the women to earn their trust, and also work with the men to make sure that they're actually supporting the women and not just taking things from the women, which has been a problem in the past. So just a very interesting cultural experience. In addition to that, though, I work a lot with the senior consultant for Ring. His name's Uncle Ben, and he's super awesome. I love working with him. I learned so much from him. He's been working in the field of development for over 20 years, and it's an extreme privilege to be able to work with him as closely as I do. He's a host country national, originally from the Upper East, and is just somebody that has a lot to say about what it means to come from a rural village or a rural community, work your way up, become educated, and then start working in development itself. And one of the things that I love about Uncle Ben is that he tells it how it is, and he's not down for any type of funny business. And what I mean by that is, due to the way that things are structurally set up on a government level, there's not necessarily always the financial support or funding that's needed to do these types of development projects, which provides to be a challenge when working with government officials. Also within that, I will say that it's a huge part of Ghanaian culture to give gifts as a sign of appreciation. And something that I think is great about this is that even when people are in the most extreme depths of poverty, they still find ways to give to show their appreciation. And something that I struggle with that, because I come out here and I'm trying to help. I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to provide information. I'm just trying to connect people with resources and materials, and I expect nothing from doing that. But when we go out into the field and we're working with these communities, a lot of the times the communities try to give us a goat, try to give us a chicken, try to give us something. And my mind is, use that for yourselves, use that for your family, sell it to get more money so you can buy seeds. Eat it if you have to, because there's a huge protein and nutrients deficiency. So for me, I don't want to accept these gifts. But sometimes when we go out, because it's a part of the culture, government officials, ring officials, anybody, they take it because it's a sign. It's an insult if you don't take the gifts. But one of the things that I love about Uncle Ben is that when we were out visiting the poultry sites, the women tried to gift us crate of eggs or a carton of eggs, and what I'll say about this is that one of the reasons why we went out there is because there's been a steady decline in the egg production. And so when the women tried to gift us the eggs, Uncle Ben was just like, nope, not taking those eggs because the eggs are for the children. And then even proceeded to scold some individuals for accepting the gift and ask them how they could sleep at night by taking eggs away from children. And it was just, it's not that anybody was trying to be malicious and take eggs from children, like quite literally, but the fact that like Uncle Ben phrases it that way, and he looks at it as this situation as like, we're here to help these communities, we should not be accepting gifts, and that we should actually be going against cultural norms, and we should be denying a lot of gifts. And I like that he sees it that way, because he's right. Like, we're there to help them, and the eggs are for the kids, the poultry is for the women. Like, it's for these communities that we're trying to help develop. And even though it's them trying to show appreciation to us, we should also be doing our act of saying thank you. We're glad that you appreciate us helping us, but please don't gift us these eggs. Don't gift us these goats. Take them, use them, because you need them more than we do. And I just like that's his approach. And I like that he is so vocal and active in trying to get other people that we work with, different government officials, to also see things that way and to fight that cultural norm of giving things as a sign of appreciation when we're talking about things that are supposed to be utilized to help those communities. So it's just, I don't know. Fighting cultural norms sometimes, or like really trying to practice what we preach and demonstrate to people that they don't need to give us things because we're helping them. Like, we're there to help them help themselves, and that's all that Ring is trying to do, and you're not supposed to be compensating us for that. And so it just, I don't know, it means a lot to me, and I really like working with Uncle Ben because of the way that he sees things and the way that he's also trying to do his fair share of making sure that we're actually serving people and not expecting anything in return for that. So that makes me happy. But anyway, poultry projects are going well. Nutrition training is also going well, and really getting a lot of other work done. So we're ready for the northern one, and I've got a few other things on the line for Ring coming up next month as well. And going back to my community in November for the last time, getting replaced by another agriculture volunteer, so I get to meet them. Super stoked about that. And just really excited to see everything kind of come to a close for the first 2 years of my service, and getting ready to start my third official year and see what's on that path, what's on that trajectory. With that said, big news. Coming home December 9th, so I'll be there in California. I'll be home for 40 days, so I'm there until roughly like January 16th. So if you're in LA, if you're in California, and you want to hang out, let me know, because I'll be around, excited to eat some good food, excited to be home, excited to see people. I'm really jazzed about that. I was a little nervous for a bit because like I had to get like whatever. I had to get like my living permit and stuff redone. I wasn't sure if my passport would be back in time, but I'll be home for Christmas, so that's super exciting. So yeah, sorry, this video is like a little all over the place, but looking forward to seeing everybody. Let me know if you want to hang out. I'll be around. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll have more updates for everybody next month. Hope everybody's well. Hope everyone's just been living life and enjoying life. And yeah, I'll catch everybody next time. And stay tuned for November video. See everybody in December.